Hey guys, my name is Rob and this is The Art of Wax. Welcome to another episode of Sunday Morning Doom Worship. It's been 1 month since we last sat down from one of these, so you know what that means. It's time to take a look at the February installment of the Doom Charts. Full disclosure, I'm not a member of the Doom Charts Collective, just a fan of what they do. This is my personal recap of the Doom Charts list. So if you're not familiar with Doom Charts, stop the video right now, go check out their website. There's a link in the description below, or you can watch my January video where I go into it a bit more in depth. Alright, on to this month's list featuring some of the best stoner, sludge, psych, and doom metal from around the world. As always, let's give credit where credit is due. We'll start at the number 1 spot, and that goes to Sweden's SpellJammer. Their album, Abyssal Trip, really blew away the competition this month. It is a vast, dark, and cold album, kind of like its namesake. And it has been getting a lot of hype this month. If you haven't checked it out, I do recommend you check that out. It definitely, it may not have made my top 4, but it definitely deserved its spot in the Doom Charts this month. If you're looking for vinyl copies, you can find them on the band's Bandcamp page or at Riding Easy Records. I know Riding Easy has some of the variants that are already sold out on the Bandcamp page, so check that out if you're interested. Alright, now that we've given SpellJammer their due, let's work on my top 4, starting, as always, at the top and working our way down. And this month we don't have far to go because we're starting at number 30. Coming out of Spain, we have Ered Guldur. I apologize if I butchered your name, guys. The album March of the Undead is a hypnotic ride. It is not only one of my favorite albums this month, but it's one of my favorite albums of 2021 so far. It was really hard for me to continue on down the list. I almost stopped at number 30 this month. I was so stoked to listen to this album. There are, unfortunately, I reached out to the band. There's no vinyl copies coming down the pipe imminently, but it is available digitally right now and tape and CD to follow. Check out their Bandcamp page in the description below for more details and at least give them a listen. They definitely deserve it. From here, we'll jump on down to number 14 on the Doom Charts list to an Italian stoner psych band named Cancervo. This brilliant instrumental album will leave you feeling euphoric and high even without a little added help. This band is part of the Electric Valley family, so there are vinyl copies available. Check out their Bandcamp page to learn more. In the number 9 spot, we have LA's Jurassic Witch. This band is the perfect blend of psych and doom. They're heavy on the stoner-like riffs. They even have a bluesy vibe from times. But just to let you know they're not fucking around, they also throw in these deep growls vocally throughout the album. It's a great listen and really a standout when you're working your way down through the lists. Unfortunately, there's no vinyl available at this time, but there is a digital download on the band's Bandcamp page, so please head over there and support the band if you dig what you hear. Last but not least, in the number 2 spot, we have yet another American band. This one is JakeTheHawk. To be honest, this album took me a few listens to get into, but I think it's because I had consumed so much doom working my way down from number 30 all the way down to number 2 that by the time I got to them their album was so different from the rest of the bands that I've been listening to that day that it almost just threw me for a minute. It took a couple listens, but as I consumed them in their own right, I really got into this album, and I think you will too. Be sure to check them out. There's a link to their Bandcamp page in the description below. The band describes their music as a cross between Appalachian and desert rock. I get that vibe for sure. When I'm listening to it, I see them as the love child of Yawning Man and King Buffalo. 2 bands that I'm a huge fan of, so it makes sense to me that this album grew on me like it did. Released on Ripple Music, this album is currently available on vinyl, CD, and of course digitally. Alright, on to some honorable mentions. The February edition of the Doom Charts was so solid that if I get too deep in here, there's a good chance I'm just going to rhyme off 10 or 15 bands. So I'm going to hold myself to 3. We have Void Commander's Riverlord, we have DopeLord's A Reality Dagger, and a band I talked to you about last month, Paralyzed, is still on the list. If you haven't checked them out yet, I don't know what more I can do for you. I also want to bring in 2 Canadian bands who held it down for the Maple Leaf last month. Lords of the Opium Church out of Edmonton, Alberta, and OLDE out of Toronto, Ontario. They were the 2 only Canadian representatives on this month's list. Canada has a long, healthy history with the Doom Charts. In 2020, 11 of the 12 months saw at least 1 Canadian band present. That's only two countries made it to all 12 months, and that was the US and the UK. To close things out, we're going to take a look at the Doom Chart World Order. That's where I take all the points that were awarded to the bands this month and assign it to the country that band calls home. This month, top spot goes to Sweden, followed by the US, the UK, Argentina, and then Poland. So far, 2 months in, the overall lead goes to the United States, but there's time for us to catch up. That wraps up our look at the February 2021 Doom Charts list. As I said above, if you haven't already, please go to the Doom Charts website and check them out. Follow them on their social media pages. They do a lot of great work to make sure we hear about a lot of great bands. Thanks again, and until next time.